Well, this is a season of change. A big moment in Titus Pétange's entire history as big staff members leave the club to be replaced by younger staff members. And then you've got big players leaving the club too. This is a moment for Titus Pétange to really define the future of the squad. And the club, of course. Paul Wagner, the most amazing head of youth development that you could ever wish for. The only problem is that he could only give us, 10 seasons of service at a push. He is 63 getting on. Possibly retirement age coming up. And I did know that we'd have to find the next best head of youth development. We weren't going to replicate this guy at all. But we had to find the next best head of youth development. And we have found him. And he's very good himself. But he is no Paul Wagner, okay? So this is the new head of youth development, who is Luke Dragolovkanin, okay? And he's only got judging play potential of 16, which is not great. Like, we really want that to be improved, but he is a model citizen. And you know what? His tactical style has changed, if I remember. I swear he was part of the bus at the start. I swear he was part of the bus. I'm going to have to check on my mates on that. His tactical style, I swear, has just changed. Maybe it's because he's joined a team that has that kind of vertical tiki-taka pressing kind of situation going on. But here he is. This is a new guy. I mean, the change of tactical style makes him better for sure. Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking good. And I'm happy with the replacement. Of course, you can't really replace someone as iconic as that. Look at the amount of 20s there are on that screen. But we've done a decent job. And I'm really glad that he is a Luxembourger himself. Luxembourger. Yeah, just passes on the mantle. I'm going to try and do that with the Chief Scout as well. We've got a really good Luxembourg Scout coming up that hopefully becomes the Chief Scout one day. Staff members, you'll recognise a name here. Our assistant manager might be replaced himself. Great assistant manager, but in the under 18s, slowly bubbling away, has been Declan Rice. And let me tell you, he's a little bit better. I think he's a little bit better. And it's a difficult choice, this one, to be honest. But moving him up to assistant manager would probably safeguard him from anyone trying to make him a manager at some point. You know what I mean? But yeah, very, very nice stats there, Declan. I might do that. I don't know. I really do like our shithouse Argentinian assistant manager. It's very difficult. I could also try and get 2 assistant managers, but that also means dropping one of the coaches. The coaching staff is very, very solid at the moment, and I'd rather not mess about with that. The player staff. The players, there are 3 big casualties, if not more. Let's go into the transfer history. That's probably the best way to do it. To the start of last season. Here we go. Loans, outwards. Cool, that's cool. So you should have seen Sinan Koch join the club. That doesn't ring a bell, actually. Let's just check. We definitely did the Champions League final last season. I'm not dreaming that up. That definitely happened last season, 5-1. Yep. Great scoreline there. Really dominant against Arsenal. So let's go from where I remember. I mean, I remember talking about Dickman. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. We've got Bastian Schmidt, an Austrian. We were talking about how many Austrians came into the club. That was 3.2 million. Barry Weaver, 30 million. Not a great signing there. I think I talked about him as well. And we go for Oscar Obregon, who is a 4.5-star midfielder, but really, really low wheel. It's a small wheel for a 19-year-old. I don't know if he's going to make it. He has to grow massively. Stanislas Mayulu looks fantastic. 5-star potential. I don't think we spent that much on him. 3.1 million from Man United. And we got to Alberto Torre, a Guinea-Bissau centre-back, 6'6", 5-star. Love that. And he's attribute increase. Good. Nice. Sick one. I thought that was just them saying he's doing well in training. I'm pretty sure he is doing well in training. And Sinan Koch coming in. And he's getting loaned. Is he loaned out now, or did I sell? I might have sold him. Yes. George Schulz is the final one on the list for last season. He was signed up in the middle of June at £1.4 million. So there it is, strong on both feet. Let's see how he develops. And nothing on the outbounds. So we go to this season. Oh, big sales. Paradiso immediately went. I thought, yeah, that is time. It is now time to say goodbye to Paradiso, because I think getting Saran, whatever his name is, getting Saran in and him doing so well in the Champions League final means that it is now to pass on the baton. This is the moment to pass on the baton. Say thank you very much for Paradiso. He's been here with the stadium name change. It is, I mean, his stats are still bonkers for a 36-year-old. And he's still putting in some decent performances for Real Madrid. I've seen him score in the Champions League. But it is time now to say goodbye, finally. Got the wages out of the door as well, which is another positive. And also time to use some of the right wingers that I've been talking about, the young right wingers that are still developing. Should we go? I'm going to go ins first, because the outs are such a mess. Mamadou Diamonde. There's actually an Ivorian at 4.5 stars, the report, but he's actually gone up to 5 stars now then. 6'4". Looks like a solid enough goalkeeper. Really cheap. In the thousands, isn't it? 400,000. Unfortunately, this one isn't. Brian Idini, Kosovan, centre-back at 6'1". With a 4.5 star, potentially could be a decent centre-back. Got the defensive stats all ready for that. This is a huge risk. I've kept an eye on this lad for ages. He's a Bolivian central midfielder called Gadiel Kim. And he is massively injury-prone. But I saw one of the European giants sniffing around. It might have been Paris Saint-Germain. It might have been Real Madrid. I don't know which one it was. But one of them was sniffing around. And I was like, well, if they're sniffing around for him, what I could do is buy him for £1 million. I could have actually bought him for a little bit less than that. But I just really quickly snuck in an offer of £1 million. And I can sell him on. If he's not made of the stuff that we want, or if he gets injured too much, but he is an absolutely outstanding player, and he's Bolivian, with that Chavez connection. It would be a great moment to have a Bolivian playing for one of our superstar teams. He's got everything in the bag. Like, he's 19-year-old and he looks like that. He's an insane central midfielder. It's just how much he's going to get injured. He doesn't look like he's injury prone on this screen at the moment on the cons, because it takes a little bit of time to go onto the cons. Talking about that, actually, Mazegla's gone. And much like Paul Lafori before him, when I sold him on, a con just appeared. So I might have forgot, or I might have just ignored it completely. But he's actually pretty susceptible to injuries. He's gone to Real Madrid. We'll talk about that transfer in a while. I'm gonna update this skin afterwards, just to make sure that it's not the skin's problem. Might just be a glitch in the game. I don't know. Next one is 10 million to Mama, 10 million to Mama. We don't need to look at them. Barcelona, 7 million for Oriol Cacho, who is a right winger. Oof, another right winger. Good luck trying to beat off everybody else who is trying to fight for that position. It looks all right. It looks all right. It'd be very good for the under 18s if he can, if he's eligible. Surely he's eligible for the under 18s at 17-year-old. Next one, Samuele Bancheri. These are players that I signed up really late last night, so let me get my bearings again. Defensive midfielder, perfectionist personality. Could maybe turn into a wing back if we wanted it, because he's got that left foot. But I think he's more going to be centre mid. A lot of centre mid. I mean, there's a lot of every position at this club. You have to be the best of the best to get into the first team. That's it now. Simon Havoc, I mean, what a bloody name. Sadly, his potential has gone from 4.5 stars to 4 stars, so he might not be it. Looks like a solid enough wing-back that'll have a great career. 2.8 million from Vålerenga. Bancheri was 18.5, 28 in total. Dennis Neuberger, I remember this guy because I signed him up today. Could be a right winger. His potential's dropped off dramatically, so forget about that. 3.5 from Dortmund 2. We got a guy called Kolditz. I can't defend. I can't say what this guy's called. Unfortunately, we have a Dickman, now we have a Kolditz. It's a bit spicy, isn't it? But he's a 4.5 star player. I look, he's not got great crossing. If he's not totally exceptional, because of that surname, we might just sell him on, just be like, yeah, I'll see it a bit. But we have to cover all bases and make this a monopoly. Just in case that guy, like 200 potential ability, we got to cover the base, you know what I'm saying? Gabriel Silva from URB, Union Remrik Buz. That's 10 million to them. Green Boys 10 million, and then Stagenfort got 10 million as well. So the ins, it's been reserved. I would say reserved from Titus Pétange this season. Maybe there's future transfer. I thought we'd splashed out more cash than what we've actually done. So maybe there's future transfers of heavier fees to come. Right. Let's get organised in this because we got big names on this. Raul Torres. How many Ballon d'Ors has he won? Secured? Let's have a look at it. Awards. Award winners. Ballon d'Or. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gone 5 Ballon d'Ors. He's sold to Arsenal, who technically are the second best team in Europe at the moment. Sold to Arsenal for £105 million. And you might be thinking, Jesus, that's a low amount of money. Bloody is. It really is. Like us dropping from, well, I think it's us dropping from the 4th coefficients down to the 5th coefficients that done it. That's happened, by the way. And that will come into effect next season. Our valuations have gone down. I've had to haggle. These sales took me hours, because I knew that it was going to be one of them seasons where I had to move players on and change things, because we're now getting into the era, the players coming through are of when Titus Pétange just had unlimited supplies of money, and we literally bought everybody, and we are taking the best of the best, and now people are just standing in our way. So Raul Torres goes for 105, and I don't even think we're going to miss him. That's the mad thing. I think Josemi is good enough wherever he is. Let's sort out his position. Josemi, I think, is good enough. He's already gone to 4.5 stars. Massive interest from Manchester United, from Chelsea. Uriarte had that amazing goal in the final. They are going to be fine. I think Uriarte, with Torres out of the equation, I think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. We'll have to see. The Ballon d'Or is very much up in the air. Obviously, I'd love Paradiso to win it, but it's up in the air. Cardenas. It's not because I couldn't say his full name. No, definitely not. He just doesn't like big games. And yes, maybe we'll see him. If we kept him around, maybe we'd see him as a Modesto, removing that big game, scared thing. I can't even talk. The doesn't enjoy big game con might be removed in the end. But the amount of centre mids that we've got, the amount of praise that them centre mids are getting. Cardenas was probably at the limit. He's a fucking amazing player. He's got a few years left, might absolutely rue it, but doesn't enjoy big games. Frightened to play him at the start of Champions League finals. We get an offer in 87 million. He's actually unhappy at the moment at the sale. Jan, what? How can he be unhappy? He's literally what? Oh, did I sign him? Hang on. Yeah. Oh. I've made him unhappy at the club. That's unreal. Imagine if I was able to get him at a cut price then. No, I'm going to try and stick to my guns here. I feel like Cardenas, even though he's been magnificent for us, it's time to go on that one. And Bayern Munich, I don't think are going to cause us too much problems. So it's a good club to go to. Michael Martinez, similar situation. Fucking the Spanish team. Yes, Spain did win the World Cup, by the way. I did say there was a hell of a lot of things to get through here. Schedule, it was a really boring 0-0. I watched it against Germany, but they did win on penalties. And it kind of, everything's kind of moving along quite swiftly because if you go into the German penalty taking, Chris Bauer from our under-23s was playing in that match, and he played really, really well. He was youngster of the tournament, and I went, fuck me, we need to bring him in. Really, just an amazing wheel for someone so young. And maybe not to the level of Cardenas, but getting there and getting there quick. We got an offer, a loan offer late in the day from Roma, not really covering the wages, but it helped me get him out, let him play first team football, and also allow me to play some other centre mids, first team football, see how they grow. Just give me another season of understanding these players and how far they can actually go. Nice. Good transitions there. So, yes, Boa is in and around the first team, and that's why certain players like Michael Martinez just had to make way eventually. Unwakali, good right back. He was just really error prone. And I've been saying that all the way through. He just feels error prone. And he shouldn't feel error prone. He fucking loves the big games. He's consistent. There's consistency. He's got the perfectionist personality. He shouldn't have been a weird individual. But he seemed to be. And we got a Dutch player with an amazing name, actually. We'll go on to him. We got a Dutch player that was just shooting up in the growth. You can see here that his ability was absolutely fine. And then obviously when we put him into the first team, that's when things started to go crazy. But I was willing to give this guy a chance. And not really surprising, this guy is consistent and he's good and it doesn't look like he's prone to any errors, like fingers crossed. So I think it just was a moving on situation there. Manchester City profiting 73 million is no money for a player like that. And even more, this is an absolute steal for Juventus. Dejouy. Yeah, I got rid of Dejouy, guys. I don't believe it myself. I really wanted him as a left back, and he just never liked playing left back, which is fine. Like, not all of them are like Berggaard. So he was playing centre-back for us, but I'm a bit worried about 5'10". He was a fantastic centre-back. 27 years old, 5'10". You put them all together, and he was one of the weakest of our centre-back group, because our centre-back group is so fucking massive. Not just in terms of stats-wise, but in terms of height as well. You put it all together and you go, okay, we're gonna have to sell Desri, unfortunately. 70 million though, Juventus are laughing. Mazzagos, 65. In January, we got an offer from Manchester City for him for 130. That's the cut that we have to take. I'm really pissed off about that one, but it is time for Ivandic, and we can't not allow Ivandic a chance to grow now. He's the only youth academy player, youth intake player of any significance for the last 15 years. This has to work out. Or, I mean, we have to give him as much chance as possible. Of course, he might just be a 150 PA or something, you know. Like, if that happens, then, you know, oh, well, it's a shame, but we have to move on anyway. But we have to give him as much chance as possible, and that means getting rid of Mazzagla eventually. I'm really, really surprised he's injury prone. I can't remember seeing that. Whatever. Pang is another one. Spanish. Unbelievable. Pang is another one where Juventus has just absolutely fleeced us. They have got two of the world's best centre-backs, and they've not really paid that much for them. What, a combined £130? Jesus, lads. Aaron Diamond to Celtic. Slightly injury prone. We got better right wingers, younger right wingers. These guys, Celtic, get him for 30 million quid. For sure, next transfer that he does, he's going to go for more than £30. But it's just about assessing what we've got. We had better right wingers, younger right wingers. Aaron Diamond moves on, because there's no real pathway to the first team at that point. Yania Kare, very difficult name. It's always been a difficult name for me to say, so I'm not really too bothered about selling him. Off to Liverpool. I think this is a reasonable valuation at 30 million. I'm sure he's going to turn into a decent player, but 4-star potential. I can't see him being like an absolute world beater. He might be on the level of like El Mazi. Is it El Mazi what we had? Ant Farley to Dortmund, only 3.5 stars. I think the fact that he's a striker made him hold his valuation a little bit more. As soon as I saw him at 3.5 stars, get him out, just cash in, and we did. Miguel Arana, a 4-star, kind of holding midfielder, maybe centre back if he put his mind to it. Decent enough player. Better players at younger age. Alex Nicolau was a difficult one to do because he was in the first team at the start of the season, but he is 24 years old. Better centre mids at a younger age. So reluctantly I sold him. Absolute bargain for Monaco. Maybe bargain of the entire lot. I don't know. Quentin Chapuis, he is at Juventus now at 4-star potential. Slightly injury prone. I mean, he's got a fractured lower leg at the moment. Jesus Christ. It's not a good injury to have. Carlos Marc Arcos, 23-year-old holding midfielder. Couldn't really be a centre-back for me at the 5'11". Was going to try and maybe put him as a wing-back. He did have the crossing for it. Potential went down. And he was sold at a very reasonable 8.75 million. We've already talked about Paradiso, and Sinan Kok went for 6.75 million. So I think that was a drop of 3.25 million there. Carlos sold to Real Madrid, 4 stars, defender. I believe we actually made a significant profit on that. I believe he wasn't tall, which is correct. He couldn't cross. It wasn't really needed at the club. It was just literally a whole checklist. Oh, fucking chair. You have a whole checklist, and if it comes out that the player is not needed, then out you go. Ahmed Mohamed moved to Napoli, the 4-star potential Emirati centre-back. Might be good. I think that's a bargain at 4 million. It's not even 4.1. Loans with fees, tons of loans. You're expecting that, of course. Our under 23s is just a line of purple, essentially. There's a few players there in the under 23s still around, and you've got your under 18s. You've even got Havoc, who is out on loan at the moment. Okay. So that's all that done. We are missing someone else. It was our secondary goalkeeper from last season. Our backup goalkeeper. Let's try and find him. Is this this is last season? Excellent. Now it's just about finding his name. Hopefully this doesn't take long. Pretty sure he played a little bit last season because Mazegla was out injured. Come on. Let's quickly go and find it. No. Oh, was he there? Anyway, I'll talk about the goalkeeper as we're trying to find him. He ran out his contract, essentially, and I want to check where he's actually gone. So you guys know where he's gone. It doesn't actually show up on the transfer histories. Come on, where is it? Can I remember his name? It was like Moreira. I think it's that. Is it? Yes. We got him, I think. History. Yeah, he was Titus Pétange. He's gone on a free to Braga. Probably their first choice goalkeeper. I would be surprised if he wasn't. He's still got like bags of potential. I think the personality made him want to move on. Just not being first choice for a club like Titus Pétange kind of knocked him off a bit, and he moved to Braga. I was thinking about putting in a contract, but we had so many good goalkeepers, high potential goalkeepers in the under 23s. We were going to move one up anyway, and that would be Radu Aprilia. But obviously Vandic came in as well. And that is a lot from the transfers. I mean, it was a stumbling of sorts, but there's a lot of transfers to get over. A lot of changes, and now we can look at the first team, and you will then understand why I was so desperate to move certain players on, even though they are pretty big at the club, big players at the club like Torres and Cardenas. So let's go from Vandic. So Vandic is what I love about, like, this is the perfect goalkeeper for me. It's very Mazegla-like, no eccentricity whatsoever. Just does his job. Need to learn how to sweep a keeper. Actually gone up. He's gone up from 2 stars to 2.5 already. I only put that up probably like 2 weeks ago. So that's good from Ivandic. And then Josemi is rapid. So he's trying to combine that speed with like the stats of your Uriartes and what's his name? Lefinya. Nearly signed Lefinya back up. How mad would that have been? Oh my goodness. I tell you what, I hope the white balance has been going crazy. I don't think I've sorted out the white balance at all. Doesn't look like it's going crazy. Cool. It's too late anyway. I've been recording for 29 minutes already. Jesus Christ. I tell you, there's a lot of things to go through here. So, Josemi, hopefully we can combine the lethalness of the strikers of the past with the speed that he's already got. And then Kaike comes into the first team, centre-back to replace Pang and Desruyan. I mean, Jesus. Look at the state of him at 22. Real big aerial presence, 6'5". Oliveira is a strange one, of course, because his wheel's not as good, but he's come in with glowing reports the loan that he had last season to Malmo and probably to Hyundai Motors. I remember Hyundai Motors reports coming back that he was just flying. He was scoring goals. He was making assists to a point, clearly. But he was very much getting my attention on the inbox. So we've pushed him into the first team at 23. We're going to give him a shot. Strong on both feet. Strong on both feet. Prayer's there, who is our second choice goalkeeper. And then we got Dylan Plezier, who I think is in Dutch, it's Dylan Good. Or, sorry, Dylan Fun. It's Dylan Fun or Dylan Pleasure. Madness. Axel Robin is out on loan at the moment, but he's growing super nicely. Was a part of the first team plans, but got a loan offer in from Benfica. And if we can get players loaned out so they're getting first team football and someone else is getting first team football so we can assess them both together, then that's the best call, in my opinion. Maybe the right winger to replace Paradiso eventually. Romulo is in 4-star ability. He doesn't actually look like a 4-star ability player. No, but there you are. Still not natural at striker. Desperately want him to. Maybe from now until, say, February when the Champions League rolls back in, maybe we play him a lot more up front. There's not that much stress as we look like we're qualifying quite comfortably through that Champions League group. Brian Ruiz, cracking on. Oh, I've been doing a lot of player traits, by the way, so everybody's still at the club is going to try and add a player trait. That is something that I always forget alongside training. Absolutely forget to do training. No, it's beneficial, but for me, it's something that falls by the wayside all the time. Sabotage. There we go. Shackleton Dodd is our key player, by the way, and I can't really deny that after what he did in the semi-finals last season of the Champions League, keeping Chelsea at bay, I think it was, in the semi-finals. Is this it? Yeah. Keeping Chelsea at bay when they look like the stronger side. It just shows how good of a defender he is and how idiotic Real Madrid are for selling him for £27 million. He has been a great centre-back for us, and he's still got a good solid amount of years. We'll try and keep him as much as possible. Tony could have been in the plans this season. He is out on loan at Atletico Madrid. Another Spanish forward, just producing them so with consummate ease. Ogarelli is a joke. He's an absolute joke, isn't he? Manchester City wants him. I think his valuation is really, really low at the moment. So even if I was looking to sell him, I'd look to sell him later on, maybe when we get back to fourth coefficients or whatever it was that put our valuation terms stupid heights. Look how close he is. Look how close he is to getting that defending up into the green. That's the moment for me where we'll be like, God, we've done a good job on Ugarelli. Because his defending was so bad at the start, I was thinking, well, he's probably going to have to be a winger. But then with all the good wingers that came through, we were like, we have no choice but to try and train this guy up to be a centre mid. And he's getting there. Look at that, no cons. Fan favourite, great personality. He likes to change from model citizen to professional. I think that might be because of tutoring. Every time I try and put Ugarelli into a tutoring, his personality shifts. It's weird. Uriarte. Chelsea interested. What a fucking surprise. Chelsea are interested in all my strikers. Is he gonna win the Ballon d'Or? Probably. Oh, this for Simon Warner, who was on loan at Manchester United last year. He is exceptional. His vision is a joke for a centre back. We might get him to a player trait of playing longer balls because I think Kaike's doing the same. Shackleton Dodd's doing the same, I think. Stupidly good. As for like a no-nonsense centre-back, because we obviously still have that in the tactic, Jacopo Agresta. It's just a pool of fucking ridiculous players. Why is Bordenaro still unambitious? Hey, but I love the fact that he's going to attempt overhead kicks. Love the fact that that is happening. Chris Bowers at Roma, previously said. Savo Saran. It's no real surprise that I gave him the number 7 after his performance. I think that there's no better. I think one of the other wingers really wants it. I think maybe Axel Robin wants number 7, a preference. I'll try and keep it on Saran because it's kind of goated now that Paradiso wore it. And I think that this guy is the worthy successor. 17 years old and scoring twice in the Champions League final it's bonkers to think about. Jose Luis Carrillo, very, very annoyed at the moment. Doesn't want to be here, but we have about 3 years to fix that up, and he's getting so much game time now. He's got to. He will fix up eventually. Giuseppe Della Monica is another right winger that kind of was like a slow burner. I thought for a good couple of years that he wasn't going to make it, but he must have kicked on. It's got nice. It's nice rounded. It's nicely rounded. There's nothing sticking out there, but he's nicely rounded as a winger, and he's scoring a couple. I've seen him score. Yeah, he scored a couple of goals for us. Nice. Let's just watch that space. Let's see what it does. Facundo Ferreira is in, a Argentinian left back, but he's on loan at Benfica at the moment. So obviously Dejri went, so we brought in Facundo Ferreira to the first team. But then Benfica were like, we'll take him, and we're like, okay, fair enough. So we're only running one left back, I think, at the moment. But we do have a recall on Ferreira if we pick up a bad injury in that position. Really, really classic fullback. Hard on the defending. So, yeah, pretty sorted for that our tactic. Chris Hewitt's back from his loan last season. He was on Atletico Madrid, played 33 times. Not played enough, in my opinion, this season. Really need to smash some games out with him, because I saw a news article in my inbox very recently that he could be dropped for England. That's where they start getting really pissy. So start playing games with him, like, quick. We're back to Ivandic. We've gone through all of them. How about that? So that's about as detailed as what I've ever done that. But there's so many changes. You want to know what's happening. You want to see and feel these new players being brought in, because these are the best of the best. I scouted nearly everybody in the world. Well, I could anyway from the filters. And these were my 5-star players. These were the guys growing heavily in the under-23s. These are the players that are going to win us X amount of Champions Leagues. And that's before you even start including some of these under-23s that look really good. We'll get into Thibaut Demore in a second, because I'm not happy about my director of football in a second. But I'm talking about another striker that's looking the bee's knees. Jorge George, I think it might be George Ongania, who's playing for Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors at the moment. Insane. Very, very Josemy-like. 6'2", rapid. Right. For the most part, the director of football has been fantastic for me. It's cleared up a lot of the work, and I've been able to concentrate on developing the squad more. However, he really dropped a fucking clanger on this contract. Thibaut Demore had a £230 a week wage if he hit 6 caps for his national team. Sorry, 5 caps for the national team. He's on 6 now. So obviously he's got his wage of £230,000, meaning that he is the highest paid player at this squad, and he's playing for fucking Malmo. That is a stinker. So I tried to rush into a contract with him to reduce that, or increase his current contract, but make sure that the clause was not in, but he was not having it. He knew how close he was to securing the bag. Good for playing my director of football like that. That's why I would only get a director of football when I am in such a good financial position. 879 million. I'm looking to become a £1 billion football club probably next season. I don't think January, because I don't think we've got assets to sell in January. But next season we might see the end of nobody. Okay, we might sell a couple of under 23s and it might get us through that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I don't think we're going to sell anybody next season either. This is a squad for a couple of seasons now. Embrace it. Right, schedule. Oh, that's a long episode of Football Manager. We're not even got into the game. Champions League, got a Group B, Dortmund, Lyon, Kiev. We are 7 points. We drew with Dortmund, I think. No, we drew with Lyon. We absolutely smashed Lyon, but couldn't find the back of the net, which you do find from time to time when you lose your best goal scorer. But it is for the best. It is for the best. Everything's for the best. If you're having troubles with Football Manager, which I saw someone on Twitter saying, I wish I was as good as you at Football Manager. I don't think I'm good at all. It's just that I'm set in my ways that if I know that it's for the best, then I can make them tough decisions. I can sell Raul Torres because I think Josemi and Uriarte will make it looks like they're making a more dynamic partnership already. Raul Torres hadn't grown that much in 3 years. He was getting to his peak. He was 27 years old. I couldn't imagine him growing any further. This could be a long one as well, because we're against Dynamo Kiev. Oh boy. Strap in, this could be an hour long, this episode. Jesus. I think Uriarte is going to win the Ballon d'Or. Go on. Tell me down in the comments section. There's I would say 4 players that could get it. Paradiso, Torres, Uriarte, and Josemi. Josemi's probably the outsider, but of course he's a striker at Titus Pétange, so he's got a chance. What an effort. Jesus, what an effort that was from Uriarte hitting the crossbar. I was thinking, good tackle. Saran nearly had an easy tap in. I was thinking maybe to make a video about people struggling on Football Manager, but I don't want to come down as condescending because I'm really not that good at Football Manager. I played the game in a way that makes it easier for me. For me, it's like a memory game. You just keep an eye on your inbox. Your coaches will tell you who's progressing really nicely. You keep an eye on attribute increases. Obviously, those with higher attribute increases through a longer period are growing quicker. Obviously, that makes sense. And probably have the higher potential. Your scout reports, you just believe in the numbers that the game gives you. Especially if you've got scouts and staff like mine who are like 16 to 20 in judging potentials. Just trust it. And I don't even look at like attribute numbers. I hate looking at attribute numbers. I love like just the wheel itself. The attribute analysis wheel is where I can very quickly assess a player without going into like the nitty-gritty. Of course, there's some points where you have to look at the numbers. Like if you want to train a centre-back into a wing-back, you've got to make sure that they've got good crossing. It's as simple as that. And if they haven't got good crossing, you've got to make sure that they train on how to get good crossing. But for the most point, I look at a player straight away, smash, there you go. All right, okay, there's a Mazzala. He's a quick centre mid. Bang, done. It's as soon as you get your mind to train on that, then the game becomes way more easy than reading numbers. I am maybe what they call like attribute illiterate. Oh, what a goal that is by Josemi. Served on a plate by Saran. Nice. That is a banger into the roof of the net. Yeah, I might be a little bit attribute illiterate. Because I've never played with them. I've always felt like the wheel, which is weird because on FIFA I've never really used it because it was introduced a little bit later. But on Football Manager it's always been there. It's always been there to assist me. And I've grown over the years to just at one take see a player and go, okay, this is the position that he should be playing, and this is the role that he should be playing. The issues could be high, it could be whatever foot. Like if he's got, like, say you've got a good right winger, we've got tons of right wingers, we haven't got tons of good left wingers. When maybe we find a banging right winger, or has he got a decent left foot? Okay, great, train him up to be a left winger. Got a couple of attacking midfielders coming through. I don't really know where they go, but I'm just signing them up for profit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm exhausted. I want this fucking episode to finish. We've nearly been going for an hour. Get it tackled. Okay, Josemi intercepts. Maybe I put out a video about like the attribute wheel, because I think that's the advantage that I have over players that haven't played as much as me. That I can read it in an instant and just go, okay, that guy should be playing there, without looking at the stats. Some people get too bogged down, including some of my friends. They get too bogged down in stats. Jose Luis Carrillo scoring our third goal. Like, you'd see like this absolutely outstanding wonder kid, and then one of your mates might be going, oh yeah, but he doesn't have good off the ball, and it's like, bro, you can fix it. Obviously, clearly he's a sick player. Nice one, Josemi. On the outside of the foot with a little volley. Half volley outside of the foot. He is really technically gifted. Really, really enjoyable. Great penalty taker. Fucking unbelievable penalty taker. Smashing them top corners. 23 shots, 12 on target. Yeah, tell me down in the comment section if you'd like me talking about the wheel a little bit. I know that some people don't play with the wheel. I think it's so important to how I play. If I didn't have the wheel, I would be not very good at this game. Obviously, we got a good tactic going. Good job. Top corner, Josemi. What a fucking penalty taker that is. Wow. Let's get a couple of changes going. Let's move a prayer out. Ivandic gets 10 minutes. Kaike might have... No. Let's have Sabotage right back. Yeah, again, really, really consistent by Plezier. Ugarelli holding mid. The more we play Ugarelli as a holding mid or a deep line playmaker, the more his defensive stats will go up. Oh, I've changed the... you remember the tablet that I've got whilst the highlights aren't playing? I used to always change the league table tab because it always kept changing. If we were in knockout groups, it would then go into like Dynamo Kiev's first team. So it'd just be like, oh, I have to change that again. I've actually now gone to the assistant manager calls. I think it's the dugout it's called. Just to have like a conversation with the assistant manager. And not mess about with it as much. We don't really need to check the league table, do we? Because we know Titus Pétange are going to be up there or near enough up there. It's a chance for Kiev. And Ivandic nicely, comfortably catches. Oh, full time. But yeah, for me, I don't think I would need to make a video on how to be good at Football Manager because I don't think I'm qualified for it. I know you might be thinking that I'm like lowering my own qualities at this game, but I genuinely think that there's people on this that know far more than me. Far more than me. I would say try and learn these wheels as much as you possibly can. Try and get a grasp of what they mean. It's like, and which point is which. So defending, physical, speed, vision, attacking, technical, aerial, mental. Make sure you remember where each, whatever these are, each zone is essentially. So when you have a spike in one of them, you know exactly what that spike is, and then you know the qualities of the player, and then you can think about maybe retraining him into a different position. Yeah. Make sure you get accustomed to the wheel. Soon as you start a save, upgrade your staff. Sort your staff out. Before even making any transfers, make sure you have the best staff available. Because you need to trust in them eventually. I talked about the shortlisting trick that I do in a previous episode, but always make custom shortlists and put every single player of the youth intake in a shortlist. So I have them in years, 2049, 2048, 2047. So it kind of bypasses the kind of recruitment package, and it gives you basically a quicker opportunity to snap up the youth talent. Look, all these players transferred into Titus Pétange eventually. Really, really heavily talented group it was in 2049. That's it. Buy low and sell high. Don't get attached too much to players. I know I remember having a network save with 2 custom clubs in the conference, and when I went from the Championship into the Premier League, I got rid of all but 2 of my players, which obviously fucking crushes the team cohesion. It was on one of the more, I think it was on 2017, so I don't think cohesion was as massive as what it is now. It crushes the team cohesion, but I knew that all these players that I'd grown from like League 2 onwards for 3-4 years, I knew that they weren't good enough for the Premier League. And as soon as you know that a player, even if you love them so much, isn't good enough for that league anymore, isn't good enough for your team anymore, then just get rid of them. I know it's difficult, but you've got to get rid of them, much like I've done with Paradiso. At this point of his career, when he's 36 now, he is looking a bit average now as a winger in comparison to Faisal Ade, who's obviously much younger than that. It then just becomes you wanting the player more than the player is necessary to the team. So don't get attached too much. Let the players make their own legacies. You don't try and make them have legacies themselves. And go by your gut. Like last year, I thought Saran, replay the last couple of episodes. I said Saran's probably gonna score in the Champions League final. Fucking did as well. He was just playing great. He was just playing great football for such a young player. And he went on and made some significant history for himself. And there you go. If you don't know how to make a tactic, don't worry. I used to download tactics all the time. I said on this tactic that I made, it started from a 4-2-3-1 from RDF Tactics. So it's not like completely from the ground up. I took the basis of that and then just molded it into what I wanted. I wanted to make a 4-2-4 work, and I eventually did. So just don't worry. Play it at your own speed, your own time, and eventually you'll get there. Like when I played this back in the day, especially Championship Manager, Jesus Christ, I was shite. I just bought Ronaldinho. But then when Football Manager came out and I got a laptop, I think it was either 2010 or 2012 was my first Football Manager game. Proper Football Manager game. I have the handhelds on the PSP beforehand. I used to just play as Manchester United. I played Manchester United about 5 seasons before, like going to Nykøbing in Denmark and whatnot. Maybe in the I think I might have done a conference save before then. I did Walkley Wanderers, didn't I? But that kind of was invalid because I had a filter on that showed the PAs at one point. I hadn't clocked it in an episode. I was like, oh, that's kind of ruined the save. Yeah, so I had a good go at Walkley Wanderers where we got quite high. But it all starts from you just enjoying the game and learning the game. And it took me a hell of a long time with Manchester United, but you get there eventually, man. And then you get like wicked players like Latham that kind of make you want to always come back to Football Manager because you find players like him, you find players like Yal Douch, you find players like Paradiso, and then you're really, really addicted like I am right now and trying to win Luxembourg a fucking World Cup. Let's have a look at Luxembourg's youth rating. I did improve it last night. It should be about 78, 77. Okay, that's fine. I only put it up by 2. I might give it a little boost if it can get into Euros, okay? So Luxembourg, get into a Euros for me. How about that? It's nice. I'm liking the progression. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. I'd say about 20. Oh, so what are we at now? We're nearly 30 seasons in, and we've got up to 77. Now, there's a long, long way still left to go. Which means that I really should stop recording this and crack on with this season. Say like 20. I would like to try and attempt a World Cup win with Luxembourg before the turn of a new century. I know, it's crazy. That's a long, long way away. I'll see you next time. Is there anything else there? Oh, no! Thank you. Memory's serving me well. Player stats there. Player stats. If you want to have a look at the player stats, someone in the comment section asked me, "Can I see Paradiso's stats for the last couple of seasons?" Now I thought I'd shown the player stats, but if you want to see more intricate, detailed statistics, I will give you them right now. Andreas Paradiso. History. Trust me, this is not just me trying to extend it into an hour. There was just so much to cover. So the 2 seasons that he was here, I think he came in January, did he not? He got injured a lot, didn't he? Of course he did. 15 appearances, 13 goals, 12 assists, just crazy, isn't it? Just basically 2 goals. Sorry, 2 goal involvements every game, really. 25 appearances, 23 goals, 27 assists. The average rating is just stupid. But look at this spell here. There's a 4-season spell where he's getting 9.18, 9.05, 9.16, 9.15. I wonder. Okay, this is definitely now going to go over an hour's long because I want to show you something. If I can find it. Which, it was the best showing of Paradiso. If we are going to celebrate, look, he's gone now. I really want to celebrate him. It was the best showing of Paradiso I've ever seen. It was so fucking sick to watch. Hello, guys. Sorry for that. We've had to cut because it was taking a long time to find this match. I actually gave up. But thankfully, after I'd finished recording, I did find the game against Hoster, and I wanted to show it you, so I will show it you. Hoster was down to 10 men. It was, 8th of November, 6th of November last season. And in this match, he scores 2 goals, one in the 85th, so why don't we go and click that first, all right? And then, if we can go and just watch the end of this, because I don't want to see the highlights. I just want to watch him at the end of this, because he is a bit magic at the end. So what time is it? 89th minute. The goals come 91st and 92nd. Oh. Thanks. So we'll have to click and then rewind to a point. Nah, we'll just play him. We'll just play him. Paradiso picks it up, kills them dead, right? And literally the next highlight is them from the kickoff. If we get it, hang on. I don't want you to watch it because it's so good. So they score that with Saran, 91st minute. From the kickoff, we get it back, we pass it to Paradiso, tiki-taka stuff off the right, and then he just kills them again. Bordenaro, little outside of flick. I was just watching that, I was like, that is so magic. Within like 2 minutes, he's proved why he was the best player on the pitch. Just so easy, so comfortably. And that's like 6 minutes after scoring a free kick top corner. Ridiculous. Very special player. I'm glad that I've seen that because I really wanted to document it. It would have been nice if we could have seen the whole match and just watched it play out the last couple of minutes, but whatever. It's all good. Right, now that I've seen that, I'm happy. See you next time. Bye-bye.